Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Should we expect more confrontation and violence in Ferguson, Missouri over the weekend? Activists there are calling for a weekend of resistance. Now, this is in the wake of another police killing of a black teenager. Now, the Ferguson October website states that the effort is intended to build momentum for a nationwide movement against police violence. They're going to have marches, teach-ins, panel discussions, and a candlelight vigil. Organizers expect thousands to show up, and they do not advocate any violence. But of course, considering what happened in August, cops are preparing for a violent repeat. The Ferguson mayor said that law enforcement is preparing for large crowds and violence, and they have activated an emergency center to coordinate efforts. Now, last night, the streets of Ferguson, Missouri were literally on fire. Protesters there were calling for the death of Officer Darren Wilson. So these protests are already getting a little bit heated. The protesters there were vandalizing homes. They committed assaults, blocked traffic, and some reportedly threw knives at police. Now, this is after another black teen was shot on Wednesday. Now, details of this particular incident indicate that the shooting was justified. However, that didn't deter these particular crowds. Protesters were marching through wealthy white neighborhoods, according to a USA Today reporter. There's also pictures of them burning the U.S. flag. So basically, these people are very upset. They do not feel represented. They're very mad. And I guess without even hearing all of the details of this particular incident, people instantly took to the streets. It went on all through the night. Violence and unrest, of course, is not going to change anything until we get some new people in power. It's not going to be the path to find justice. And you're not going to find peace by creating the very injustice that you're fighting for. Now, Senator Rand Paul has visited Ferguson, Missouri today. He was there ahead of this fresh round of protests. This is the first potential 2016 contender to visit the city. And Paul met with civil rights leaders today and stated his concerns about long prison sentences for nonviolent crimes, the loss of voting rights for felons, and military programs to give unused equipment to local police departments. Paul said, "I wanted to find out what we could do to make the situation better." So it'll be interesting to see how these residents react to getting a chance to see a lawmaker who seems to have their back and be really concerned about the fact that the police here in America are being militarized. And of course, hopefully his visit will show them that people are listening. Lawmakers are ready to stand up and do something in the name of justice. And of course, Rand Paul is not going to be there race baiting like some of the other people who showed up promptly there in Ferguson. Coming up, even when the NSA releases information about itself, it still claims that that intel is classified. And then we're going to get to the bottom of all the weird perverts behind the Jennifer Lawrence nudie pics scandal. And then our own Paul Joseph Watson sits down and interviews Zach Taylor, former Border Patrol agent who warns about the potentiality of Ebola to cross the border.
I began to get into iodine a few years ago because it was helping me and my family so much get healthy and detoxify. I believe our research is conclusive. This is the best iodine out there. And I know this for a fact. Nobody else has got iodine based on these pure crystals, ladies and gentlemen.
For a limited time, experience the ancient power of Survival Shield X2. Take advantage of this unprecedented 30% off Super Detox Special at InfoWarsLife.com.
Introducing the first proprietary oxygen-based intestinal cleanser, OxyPowder. Backed by FDA-approved Phase 1, 2, and 3 clinical trials. All the toxins from the air, the food, the water, ultimately ends up in the gut or affects the gut. Take your health into your own hands and start cleansing your body today with OxyPowder. Secure your OxyPowder today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com.